A good chunk of buyers in B2B do not want to talk to sales, period. That's a problem. Good morning, everybody. Today, Ruby and myself are talking about how challenging it is right now for B2B sales. For one, your buyer, in a general way, does not want to speak to you, even if they are in market to buy. And that's really hard for a lot of salespeople to hear. And that's something that is brought on by a lot of things, mainly things like the internet. However, for a lot of sales people, it's understanding the implications of why our buyers don't want to talk to us. And some of it is there's been some naughty Nellies out there in the sales world who've made it really ugly when it comes to doing business with sales. And so there's a lot of people who have PTSD from that. And they don't want to talk to salespeople, even when they're ready to buy. And so much so that a chunk of B2B buyers want to DIY it the whole way. Doesn't matter what you're selling, whether you're selling a $2 widget or if you're selling a $10 million something or other. It is tough for sales to navigate that. It's really understanding why. Why is that happening? And so buyers want to do their own research. That's what every possible survey that you could probably read on the internet right now will tell you. They want to do it themselves. They want to understand the problem they have. They want to understand the available solutions that they need. They want to understand how those solutions work. They want to understand how to do it in the most structured way possible that gives them the biggest money savings that they can get. All of that kind of makes sense if you're not seeing it through their eyes. You're not seeing the world how it actually works. However, and it's a big however, that's really, really hard, what I just described. If it's a complicated sale, if it's a complex sale, that's super hard. I don't know all the ins and outs and all the features and benefits. I don't know all the gotchas and the oopsies and the I should have done this and I didn't do that. That's really challenging for a buyer. So sales, to be very frank, has a very, very important role to play in all of that. The trouble is that if our buyers don't like us, they think we're out to get them in some way, sell them too much stuff, sell them the wrong thing, sell them a thing that they don't need, upsell them, cross-sell them, and they just want the thing. That's a really conflict-ridden place to be. And so sales needs to understand that. And so one of the things that sales needs to understand is why AI is going to be a problem. Because if I can use AI to do all of that question and answer, heavy lifting, discovery, blah, blah, blip, blah, blue, I don't need to talk to a salesperson to do any of that. If the tools can tell me the same story, that's where we're going, gang. However, here's the big gotcha, is if I do all that and I get it wrong, well, my buyer's remorse is massive. I hate myself, I hate the company, I hate you, I hate them, but it's my fault. I DIY'd it, I screwed it up. I didn't know about the thing, nobody told me about the thing, and I missed the thing, and now it's going to cost me $500,000 more. Big problem. So, highly dichotomous. People don't want to talk to sales, but sales have all the information that can help me avoid the oopsies and the gotchas and the what ifs, but I won't talk to them. So how do we fix that? We help the client do all of the heavy lifting that they want to do on their own. If they're in market to buy and they're doing heavy lifting and research, make that as holy crap easy as possible for them to do. Tell them the gotchas, tell them the oopsies. It doesn't mean sales doesn't have a role. They absolutely, 100% do have a role. However, it's a different role. You are trying to guide someone. You are not trying to sell them anything. You are trying to guide them to the successful outcome that they are seeking. And that's a different approach. That's why AI is going to help sales, not hurt sales. When it comes time to close the business and you can do the checks and balances and the here's what you didn't get and here's what you really need and here's why you should do it and here's what you're not going to do and here's how I'm going to help you get to the end game here. That's your role. If you're doing it to try to start at the beginning and make them do things that they don't want to do, you've already pushed them away to the other side of the fence where they're going to make mistakes anyway, and it's going to be a disaster. But you pushed them there. You didn't help them. You pushed them there. So thinking about that very specifically is you want to make sure, and we say it from a very specific angle, The buying journey is what you want to know. How do they want to work with you? How do they want to buy that process? And just give them that. That's what we're trying to do. And if AI helps, if sell sheets help, if a website helps, those are the tools. Use the tools. But don't make them do something that they don't want to do. And oh, by the way, if you get it right, and you really get it right, your opportunity for success goes up significantly, like significantly. So, long one for today. But understand that. Understand why AI is going to be so challenging for sales when we're already feeling like the client's against us, there's friction, something's happening. It's all built around how people are existing in the world right now. So if you can use AI to your advantage, if your team, your company, your business can use AI advantage to help people, help you help them, that's magic. All right, enough for today. Sales is hard enough. Let AI do some work. Let your clients and company and B2B buyers use AI to their own extent, but make sure you're at the other end of that process so that you can get them to the right place. All right, enough for today. Walking and talking with Ruby.